Hello! In a town where the crime rate was virtually non-existent, a startling discovery would soon shock everyone. Picture a serene neighborhood, much like the one I grew up in, where everyone knew each other's birthdays and barbecue weekends were a communal affair. Its quiet streets bathed in the golden glow of sunset, children's laughter floating through the air as they cycle past neat rows of houses. Yet beneath this tranquil facade lay a secret so dark it would turn this community on its head. Enter Cairo Ammar Jordan, a seemingly ordinary child with a captivating smile, who roamed these very streets. What could a child so young be hiding that might unravel the tight-knit fabric of this peaceful enclave? As the camera pans over lush green lawns interrupted by flashes of police sirens, it reminds me of a summer when my own neighborhood was rocked by a revelation. By a revelation, a revelation. We're left to ponder. What happens when the innocence of youth conceals a chilling mystery? Prepare yourself for revelations that will not only challenge your perceptions, but have you questioning how well you truly know your neighbors. This isn't just a window into the hidden depths of apparently those childhood streets I once thought I knew so well. It's a journey into the enigmatic mind of a child where every smile has a story, and some stories cast long shadows. Stay with us as we delve deep into this unsettling narrative, promising to uncover profound and chilling insights into the complexities of human nature and the mysterious inner workings of a child's. Welcome to Crime Chronicles. Here we look at real crime stories that are both interesting and scary. We dig into mysteries and the darker side of people. Get ready to learn about cases that will catch your attention and shock you. Today, we're going to talk about the spooky case of Cairo Ammar Jordan. Every storm starts with a small breeze. Cairo's story began with little signs. From a young age, Cairo showed behaviors that weren't really scary at first, but they suggested bigger problems. Teachers and neighbors noticed that Cairo often liked to play alone, not because he was shy, but it seemed he preferred it. He would get really into his own complex and imaginative games, were creative but sometimes a bit too intense. He didn't hang out with other kids much. When he didn't really show feelings. Cairo didn't react much to what others felt. This lack of emotional connection was the first warning sign that caught everyone's attention. Also, small incidents started to add up. A broken school window, a hurt pet in the neighborhood. Each event by itself didn't seem like a big deal, but together they started to worry everyone. Teachers and neighbors began to whisper, and quiet talks were held secretly. These were the whispers before the storm. It didn't take long for small problems to turn into big worries. Cairo Ammar Jordan, who was known in his neighborhood for little pranks, started acting in ways that made everyone concerned. In the quiet halls of his elementary school, it was clear that Cairo was changing from playful to troubling. At first, his teachers saw small disruptions in class, like a stolen pencil or a quiet joke. But soon, these small things led to scarier actions. One day, Cairo was caught writing scary messages on the bathroom walls. The messages were dark and full of threats, making even the school janitor uncomfortable. As time went on, the school became more worried. Cairo's behavior with other kids got worse. There were reports of bullying that were mean and targeted other kids' weak spots. Teachers tried to stop this change in Cairo, but nothing they did seemed to help. Outside of school, the neighborhood also started feeling the effects of Cairo's behavior. Pets went missing and were found in bad conditions. Neighbors began to have serious talks at community meetings. The playful trouble Cairo used to cause was now seen differently. One night, an old neighbor's beautiful garden was destroyed. Among the damaged plants, the neighbor found a note that said, "Stay away." With each day, Cairo's actions became serious and worrying. The neighborhood's worries turned into real fear as they faced the reality of the boy they thought they knew. Cairo was no longer just seen as a playful child. Concerns turned into actions when authorities started an investigation. Cairo Ammar Jordan, a child showing very worrying behaviors, was at the center of this case. With the community worried and safety a concern, it was crucial to into things carefully. The first step was to bring in child psychologists to try to understand Cairo's mind. They worked step by step to find out what might be causing his disturbing behavior. These experts did various tests using tools to check for any emotional problems or past traumas affecting him. At the same time, the police looked into Cairo's home life and surroundings. They talked to his family, teachers, and neighbors to get a full picture of who Cairo interacts with and what influences him. They paid close attention to everything, from his family life to his friendships, searching for reasons behind his recent strange behavior. The investigation went on. The findings started to become very clear. Early reports from the psychologist showed that Cairo might have a very serious but rare psychological issue, which even experts found difficult to understand. Meanwhile, the police found signs of neglect and other strange things happening at home that no one noticed before. What they found was more shocking than expected. The mix of Cairo's mental state and his home life showed a complicated set of problems that even the best professionals found challenging to solve. Behind Cairo's eyes were secrets that even surprised the experts. As we look closer at the case, we see that figuring out how Cairo thinks is important for solving this mystery. Experts who studied Cairo found that he acted very differently from other kids. They noticed that Cairo didn't show feelings like empathy or regret, which are worrying signs often seen in adults who have broken the law. Cairo's actions were also different because they were very thoughtful and not just sudden decisions, which is not common in children. His behavior showed a consistent pattern, not just random acts, which suggested deeper mental health issues. The experts talked about different mental conditions that might explain Cairo's actions. Some thought he might have conduct disorder, which affects how children behave and feel. Others talked about early signs of psychopathy, a serious condition usually diagnosed with caution in young people. Throughout these talks, the experts pointed out that Cairo's situation was very rare. It's unusual for a young person to show such clear and extreme behaviors. This made the case a challenge, but also an opportunity for more research into how children develop psychologically. As we dug deeper, a clear and troubling image of Cairo emerged. This case wasn't just about a child making news. It was about understanding complex mental behaviors that start very early in life. This deep look into Cairo's mind raised important questions not just for this case, but for understanding and studying how young people think and act. When something bad happened to a young boy named Cairo Ammar Jordan, it affected everyone, not just his family. People in the neighborhood who used to just wave at each other started talking a lot. They looked worried. This event made everyone think about their own families too. Schools that were usually full of fun became places where everyone talked seriously about keeping kids safe and making sure they were okay in their minds. Teachers and counselors were extra careful to notice if any student seemed sad or troubled. Because of what happened to Cairo, people started to look more closely at the rules about taking care of kids. There were classes for parents to learn more about how kids act and why it's important to help them feel good mentally. The police and people who help families also had to explain their actions more clearly and work faster when kids were involved. The community changed the rules to help kids and faster and better. Even though everyone felt sad, they also came together. They held gatherings to show they were together in this. They promised to look out for each other more, keeping an eye open and helping anyone who was having a tough time. This brought everyone closer, and they were ready to help each other heal. The neighborhood was different now, more careful but also full of hope for getting better together. As we finish our look at Cairo's troubling story, we think about what we've learned. From his first signs of trouble to the scary way he acted, Cairo Ammar Jordan's story shows us how complex children's thoughts and behaviors can be. We've followed his journey from small behavior problems to very worrying actions. This tells us how important it is to notice and help with mental health issues early on. Helping early can make a big difference, potentially changing bad outcomes to good ones. We talked about how looked into Cairo's behavior, finding out many complicated things about his mental state. This case teaches us that to understand such actions, we need a lot of empathy and knowledge. Experts who work with mental health have a tough job, especially with serious cases like Cairo's. His actions also affected those around him, causing fear, confusion, and a strong need for answers. This shows how one person's mental health problems can affect a whole community. Cairo Ammar Jordan's story makes us think about the unknown parts of our minds and how thin the line is between being innocent and not. Let's go!